Illustrating a story. Create your characters using accurate proportions. A person's head is an egg shape. A person's shoulders are wider than the head. Use one triangle for the torso and down to the waist, and another triangle for the waist down to the hips. So it's an upside down triangle and then a right side up triangle. The shoulders, when you put in the shoulders, put in the elbows even with the waist, and put in the wrists even with the hips. Fill those lines in. Now add the hands. And put the knees slightly lower than the tips of the fingers. The legs are equivalent to the entire rest of the body together. So the head, neck, shoulders, and body is the same size as the legs. If you folded yourself in half, your legs would be half of you. Most kids do not draw arms and legs long enough. So let's go through that again. Your head is an egg shape. Your shoulders are wider than the head. The elbows are even with the waist. The wrists are even with the hips. Draw the hands. The knees are lower than the fingertips. So now I'm going to start designing my characters. After I've designed my characters, I can go on and design my settings. So where is my action going to take place? Is it going to be real or imaginary? Is your setting going to be indoors or outdoors? Let me show you how to do an indoor setting. That dot in the middle is the vanishing point. All the lines that go away from you angle towards that vanishing point. The vanishing point is equal to your eye level. So the higher up you are, the higher the vanishing point is. See how all the lines go away towards that vanishing point? The lines that go across just go straight across from left to right. The lines that go up and down go straight up and down. But the lines that go away from you all go to that dot. And that's pretty much how you make sure that a room looks three-dimensional. Here I am drawing the horizontal lines and the vertical lines, but anything that goes away from me goes towards that dot. If you've got something that overlaps the corner of the room, be sure to erase so that things look like they're in front of each other, and that'll give it a more realistic look. Now let's talk about what if your setting is outdoors. An outdoor setting. Here's how. First, let's start with trees. Try and make trees with branches. Just make two curved lines, put a V in the middle, make the lines grow, and continue splitting the branches using other V's. Inside the tree, make curved lines so it looks like the texture of bark, and it makes the tree look rounder. Every time you split the two branches, make the lines grow and make them get skinnier as they go higher up. And the skinnier they get, the higher up they get, like they're reaching towards the sun. The inside of the V is the space in between the branches. So never put anything inside any of the V's. Every single V there is the space in between the branches, so it's not part of the tree. And just make the branches get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier as they go up until they end in a point or go off the edge of the paper. Now the trees that are nearer to you are going to be big. The trees that are a little farther away are going to be higher up on the page and smaller. So you've got your foreground, and you have your middle ground, and then way in the distance, higher up and even smaller, you have your background. So that gives your picture a sense of depth. As you can see, the trees that are farther away are smaller, and the trees that are nearer are larger. The trees that are farther away are closer to the vanishing point and closer to the horizon line. The trees that are nearer are closer to the bottom of the page and closer to the viewer. The horizon line and the vanishing point are your eye level. So wherever you're standing, your eyes will be even with that vanishing point. So here I am creating my setting for my story. And I draw my big tree, my medium tree, my small tree. There's my mountains. I've got a road, a tunnel. Okay, now I'm going to start putting my characters into my story. Let's see. I'm going to put somebody in there. Okay, he's talking to a dog. No, it's a kangaroo. Okay, he's talking to a kangaroo. What's going on here? The kangaroo's eyes and the man's eyes are even with the vanishing point. The little baby kangaroo, his eyes are lower than the vanishing point because he's smaller. The veterinarian's eyes are also even with the vanishing point. Let's see this again. There's the man sitting. There's the kangaroo. Now, the big kangaroo is much closer, but his eyes are on the same level as the man in the background. He's just a lot larger. Okay, let's see. There's the veterinarian. He's in the foreground also. He's much closer to the viewer than the man in the background. But his eyes are on the same level. They're even with the vanishing point and the horizon line. Because the vanishing point and the horizon line are at your eye level. There's a kangaroo that's far away. There's a kangaroo that's near. But their eyes are both even with the horizon line. There's a very big kangaroo that's very close to the foreground, and there's a man hiding behind the tree. All their eyes are at the same level. Okay, what's going on? Oh, here's the end of the story. The man and the kangaroo are back in the veterinarian's office, and they're hugging each other, and there's the baby kangaroo. I wonder what the story is all about. Well, the moral of this story is that as long as you know how to do overlapping, how to use a horizon line, a foreground, a middle ground, and a background, make things get smaller as they get farther away, use a vanishing point, and draw people using correct proportion, you can illustrate just about any story your imagination can come up with.